Using data from a table, 3 students are to find a linear model of the data in the table below. Student A uses the points 1, 11.9 and 2, 7.1. Student B uses the points 1, 11.9 and 7, 17. And student C uses the points 2, 7.1 and 7, 17.0, or just 17. Which student seems to have made the best choice? Do notice, I've corrected one of the values, right? It's in red. I have it as 17 instead. So once again, I recommend you read word problems at least 2 to 3 times. So 3 students are to find a linear model of the data in the table below. Student A uses the points 1, 11.9 and 2, 7.1. So it probably makes it a little bit easier if we can visualize, right? So student A, 1 and 11.9, and also 2 and 7.1. Agreed? Student B uses the points 1, 11.9 and 7, 17. So student B uses 1 and 11.9 and also 7, 17. So student C uses the points 2, 7.1 and 7, 17. Which student seems to have made the best choice? So student C chose 2, 7.1 and 7, 17. Did you guess the correct one now? Even with the table visualizing it on the table, it makes it hard, agreed? It's kind of hard to see or kind of tell. So one thing I recommend, well, graph it. That way it's easier to visualize. So let's try to plot this. So notice that here I have the table converted or replaced on here as well. But we're going to try to graph it. To make it easier to see, let me change the values, and there is the first coordinate with the fact that student A and student B selected it. Second coordinate with the fact that student A and student C selected it. And the last coordinate and the fact that student B and C both selected that coordinate. And on our table, it's a single quadrant since they're all positive values. Agreed? So let's label our x and y axis. There they are. And now, let's label at the bottom our increments, pardon me. So we're incrementing by ones on the bottom, our x values. And notice that I've drew a break on there, page break, or graph break I should say. That means I'm not starting from 0. I'm starting from other number other than 0. So be aware, if you see this break on your graph somewhere, it implies that they're not starting from 0. You're welcome to do page or graph breaks whenever you essentially don't want to start from 0 or there's a huge space from 0 that you don't want to plot since there's nothing there. And next are increments starting from 5 and up. Then it's up to 18 in this case. So let's try plotting the coordinates that are given by our table. So there is our first coordinate, second coordinate, 2 and 7.1, third coordinate, 3 and 8.9, etc. So we'll graph all of them. And now let's realize that's all a graph. Does it look like it's a linear pattern? Somewhat, except for the first coordinate. It kind of makes it look odd, right? Maybe that one particular one didn't make sense or will not make sense for a particular data values. And it's real life. Sometimes it occurs, right? So let's try and check and see. So student A chose the first and the last, well actually first and second coordinate. And the graph looks like that. It's a straight line connecting those two. So let's label it. Student A. Do you think this line defines or reflects what all the other points are doing, or the majority of them at least? You're right, I disagree as well. They're not representing what all the other points are doing. So let's see, student B then selected the first and the last coordinate point. Do you agree that the student B may have not selected the best choice either? Yeah, they're not terrible choices, but they're not the best choices, right? And by terrible, I mean terrible, they could have selected a line somewhere way out in space that has nothing to do with the dots, right? But in this case, still, they're not the line of best fits. How about student C? He selected the second and the last coordinate. Hey look, student C seems to have made the best choice. It describes most of the data points. And that's essentially what you're looking for when you're doing scattergrams. Trying to draw a line that describes most of the data points and not necessarily all of them. So in this case, student C made the best choice.